I think interestingly enough, with crowdfunding, the customer or the person who's asking for money is very open because he's been doing it anyway. I mean, I'll take a personal example. When I was 18 and I want to buy my first Louis Vuitton, and it's expensive, it's 50,000-60,000 rupees. I remember taking all the money I got from Bhai Dooj, from Rakhi, from my birthday, from coming first in class, and kind of, you know, taking all that money together and buying something that I really wanted. And a lot of Indians do that today, right? I mean, people just kind of collect money from different sources towards something that's important. It could be selling lemonade as a kid or cookies or whatever it is, right? So I think that was not the issue. People were willing to ask because they needed the money, and especially in an economy like India where there's too many stereotypes, right? With music, it's only Bollywood. With movies, it's only Bollywood. So someone who wants to do something independent doesn't have an alternative source of funding anyway. So getting the person to ask was never the issue. I think the issue that we did face, and we still do face, is that people are lazy. That's just how our culture is, right? We have servants to do everything, we have other people to do everything, and so they feel that if they pay you for your platform, they expect you to do their work for them as well. So even though it's them the money is being raised for, they want you to be raising it for them. So that is something that we're still battling, which is kind of convincing the client that, look, the money is for you, you need to put yourself out there, you need to sell and market yourself so that you can actually get people interested in your project. So that is what we're trying to fix today in terms of crowdfunding in India. It's funny you ask, because we're actually working on those strategies right now. I think those strategies would include a little bit in terms of rebuilding your product, right? Putting in little tutorials, little widgets onto your site along the way when a person is actually using and interfacing with your product to guide them on how they would actually do it themselves. I think that would be one, is just giving them the resources to do so. Second would be case studies, case examples to use to guide a person that, you know, okay, this is what someone else has done. Maybe if you find a similarity between your project and their project, they can do the same. And third is actually what I think is most important, is marketing yourself and positioning yourself in your PR as a do-it-yourself model, a DIY model, right? I mean, the biggest mistake I think people make is, especially as entrepreneurs, is that because you want that client, you do whatever they ask you to do, and that's actually wrong, because once you set a precedent, especially publicly, people will expect you to do it all the time. So when you go out to the market, when you advertise yourself, you need to be very, very clear, this is what you do and this is what you don't do, and which is what we're doing right now. So now when clients come to us and say, look, we'll give you 5% extra or 10% extra, just do it for us, we absolutely say no. We'd rather let go of those clients than change our business model. Well, I would say a couple of things. One is just the entire question around legality, because there's been a lot of confusion in the Indian market in terms of the difference between crowdfunding and crowd investing or crowd financing, which is what the Jobs Act is all about, right? Which is when a lot of people come together, invest financially in a project and get returns or equity, right? So because of this confusion, especially which has been increased by the media, right? Because people keep confusing Kickstarter as Mumbai Angels equivalent, which is crazy. So I think bursting that bubble is very, very important. You tell a person that, look, we are not doing this for equity. You're not going to be raising lakhs and crores through this model, because that is something that happens through SEBI, right? So being clear again in your proposition to the client is very important from the get-go. Another concern I would say that people have is around whether they would actually reach the target that they set out, right? They're like, oh, okay, if I need, say, 10 lakhs to make a movie, what if I don't raise 10 lakhs? Then will I have to give the money back, and will the customer get annoyed? So here again, I think it's a little bit of capacity building and educating the client, where we tell them that, look, be realistic. What is the budget that you're looking for in making your project? Let's only try 30% of that budget through crowdfunding. The rest has to come either through matched contributions, through sponsors, through whoever. So we first of all keep the expectations low. Second, we then help them build a strategy. Okay, who are the different contribution pools you can go after, right? Your friends and family are one. People who associate with your project is another. The fraternity of films games and music is another. So we kind of sit down with them and chalk out a plan as to who they can go after in reaching the target. And then we also have certain, kind of defense mechanisms of the website itself. So we say that you have to raise at least 20% of the target you set out. So if you set out for 10 lakhs, 2 lakhs, within 30% of the time frame you give yourself, which is say 100 days, then 30% is 30 days. So if you don't raise 2 lakhs within 30 days, then we refund the money to all the contributors and we close your campaign. It's almost our way of insuring ourselves against lazy clients, right? Because a lot of people will just create pages and then just sit. And it shows badly on the platform to have pages that don't, of campaigns that don't have proper, funding success, right? So then that becomes a little bit of a carrot in front of the donkey, so as to say, for the client to actually reach his target. Yeah, I mean, honestly, we tried not to make all the mistakes we made with Wishberry's gift registry model here, right? So we decided we'll just use the platform as is. Let's get clients, let's see how they interact with the product, and let's keep pivoting then, right? So initially we had no holds barred. We had no rules, nothing. We just went, got a few clients on board, see how they did, and then kind of iterated our business model. So initially, yes, we had a play client, I think it was called some Jungle Book Play, and they wanted to raise, I think, like 3 or 5 lakhs, and they only ended up raising 60,000. And initially, because they was our first client, we put them onto our website, like onto the homepage front and center. And after a few months, a lot of our new clients were saying, well, why do you have projects that are not fully funded? It shows badly. So that was our first kind of indicator, okay, this is not good. We shouldn't promote projects that are not doing well. So then for our next project, we said that we won't display you on the website till you've reached at least 30% of your target. So then, because they want to be displayed on the website, because they felt that that would be a source of funding for them, right? The random people who come to Wishberry, they worked harder to reach the 30%, so they would go on our website. Another strategy that we employed was actually charging the person, upfront, because we've noticed that unless you charge people in India, they don't value what you give them, right? I mean, if you give something for free, they'll probably just toss it, right? To take a similar example is gift vouchers, right? 20% of all of Shopper Stop's gift vouchers are not redeemed. That's almost 2 crores a year, Why? Because it's given as gifts for free and people don't value it and toss it. So we said, okay, nothing for free, let's charge the client 5,000 rupees upfront. And even if you don't charge it, we say that we'll deduct the first 5,000 that you raise and it comes to us. That in itself becomes, a motivating factor for the client to actually do something, because he thinks, "Arey, maine to paisa diya hai, let me at least make use of it." So we're still figuring out a lot of these strategies, but the best way to figure them out is actually to do them with the client, see how they react, and then kind of move forward. And we've still not figured it out 100%. Disclaimer. Honestly, they're both important, but you need the funder before the fundee or the fundraiser, okay, the person who gets the money. He's more important because you need to start somewhere. He's offering the opportunity for the giver to give something, right? But that being said, I have to add value as a platform beyond his network of friends, families, and fools, right? And that's when the person who's giving the money becomes important. So that's when we ideate with the person who's raising money. Okay, so which are the different relevant audiences? So if we're making a movie on child abuse, okay, let's partner with a certain NGO in that space. Let's go after I don't know, parents who've suffered stuff like this, or just think of relevant audiences in that space and try and get him to approach them. So they're both important, but step one is the person raising the money.